Ever wonder what it was really like to walk with dinosaurs? Let's take a trip back in time, way back, to an era when giants ruled the earth. Forget what you think you know from the movies, because the reality is even more mind-blowing. For over 150 million years, dinosaurs weren't just one type of creature. They were an incredibly diverse group. You had the colossal Tyrannosaurus, a plant eater so massive its footsteps would have shaken the ground like an earthquake. Its neck alone was longer than a school bus. Imagine that peacefully munching on leaves high up in the treetops. Then, on the other side of the food chain, you had the superstar predators. Of course, there's the Tyrannosaurus rex, with a bite force so powerful it could crush bone with ease. But T-Rex wasn't the only apex predator on the block. In different parts of the world and at different times, fearsome hunters like the Giganotosaurus in South America and the Spinosaurus in Africa, with its massive sail-like fin, were the top dogs. Spinosaurus was even a skilled swimmer, hunting giant fish in ancient river systems, but not all dinosaurs were giants. Many were surprisingly small. Take the Compsognathus, which was only about the size of a chicken. It would have scurried through the undergrowth, hunting insects and small lizards, and recent discoveries have completely changed how we picture them. Many dinosaurs, including some relatives of T-Rex, were covered in feathers. They ranged from simple, fuzzy coats to complex plumes, used for insulation, display, and maybe even flight in their smaller cousins, the ancestors of modern birds. That's right, birds are living dinosaurs. From the armored tanks like Ankylosaurus, with its club-like tail, to the herds of three-horned Triceratops, the world of dinosaurs was a vibrant, complex, and sometimes terrifying place. Their reign ended abruptly 66 million years ago with a massive asteroid impact, but their legacy lives on, not just in fossils, but in every bird you see outside your window. The age of dinosaurs never truly ended, it just evolved. Thanks for joining me on this prehistoric adventure. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more amazing stories from our planet's past. See you next time. Ever wondered what a typical Tuesday looked like for a T-Rex? Or how a giant Argentinosaurus made friends? Today, we are refiring up our time machine and traveling back millions of years to witness the daily lives of the most incredible creatures to ever walk the earth, the dinosaurs. Our journey begins in the Triassic period, over 230 million years ago. The world was hot, dry, and dominated by one massive supercontinent, Pangea here. The first dinosaurs were just starting to emerge. Picture this: small, nimble creatures like a raptor, zipping through the arid landscape. They weren't the giants we often imagine, but they were pioneers. Life for an Raptor was a constant hunt for insects and small reptiles, always staying alert for larger predators that weren't dinosaurs at all, like the fearsome Pastosuchus. Their social life was likely simple, perhaps living in small, loose groups, relying on speed and agility to survive this tough, new world. Fast forward to the Jurassic period, the golden age of dinosaurs. The continents were drifting apart, creating lush, tropical environments. This is where the giants took over. Imagine waking up as a Brachiosaurus. Your morning routine would involve stretching that incredibly long neck to munch on the tops of towering conifer trees, a breakfast spot no one else could reach. You'd travel in massive herds, a moving forest of long necks and tails. This wasn't just for company, it was for protection. The ground would tremble as your herd moved, a clear warning to any lurking Allosaurus, the apex predator of the Jurassic. For these sauropods, life was a slow, majestic journey, constantly eating to fuel their enormous bodies, and relying on their sheer size and numbers to stay safe. Now, let's leap to the Cretaceous period, the final chapter for the dinosaurs. The world looked much more like it does today, with continents separated by oceans and a wild variety of new plants, including flowers. This era brought us some of the most famous dinosaurs. Life as a Triceratops was all about family. They likely lived in herds, with adults forming a protective circle of horns around their young whenever danger approached. And what danger it was. The king himself, Tyrannosaurus rex, ruled this land. T-Rex's day was a mix of patrolling its territory, using its incredible sense of smell to find its next meal, and maybe, just maybe, taking a nap. While often shown as solitary hunters, some evidence suggests they might have hunted in pairs or small family groups, a terrifying thought for any Edmontosaurus in their path. But it wasn't all about the big guys. In the Cretaceous skies, the pterosaurs soared, some with wingspans as wide as a small airplane. And down below, small feathered dinosaurs like Velociraptor were changing the game. Forget what you saw in the movies. Real velociraptors were about the size of a turkey, covered in feathers, and were incredibly intelligent. They were pack hunters, using teamwork and their famous sickle-shaped claws to take down prey much larger than themselves. Their days were a masterclass in cooperative strategy. From the small, scrappy survivors of the Triassic to the colossal giants of the Jurassic and the diverse, specialized species of the Cretaceous, The daily life of a dinosaur was an epic saga of survival, adaptation, and social connection. Each fossil we find is a clue, a snapshot of a day in a life lived millions of years ago, reminding us of the incredible and dynamic world that existed long before our own. Thanks for joining us on this prehistoric adventure. If you enjoyed this journey back in time, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next exploration. See you next time.